workers versus the fast food industry and the giant companies that run it. On a global day of action this May 15th, fast food workers have come out onto the streets to demand better working conditions for themselves throughout the world. Here in the United States, actions and strikes are planned in 150 different cities. We're at the protests in Manhattan, where at least 100 people have so far showed up, but more people are expected to come out as the day unravels. Throughout the world, action is taking place in 33 different countries spanning over 6 continents.
This protest matters because workers all over the country, but even all over the world, are getting paid horrible wages. They're not living wages.
The demands of fast food workers in the U.S. have been clear since their movement really kick-started in November 2012. They want the minimum wage of $7.25 per hour raised. They want to be able to get $15 per hour and to be able to form unions without retaliation. They say they're tired of struggling and living in poverty because of the way these corporations treat them.
We're here fighting for a minimum wage, $15 an hour, respecting the workplace.
While the debate about wealth inequality has been key in the U.S. in the years and days after the recession, these fast food workers say that one major change is still being denied. The fact that fast food workers are no longer teenagers trying to make an extra buck, but in fact families who are struggling to feed their children while giant corporations behind the industry make billions of dollars every year.
Majority of us fast food workers are the ages of 20 and up, and you got to remember, most of us are single parents who have kids.
We're going to keep coming out, and we're going to keep supporting this cause until we get what we came out here for, which is for the 15 in the union.
I know people got up real early today. They're protesting in many cities, and this movement is growing exponentially by leaps and bounds. It's getting very powerful.
These protesting workers are saying they're going to keep coming out onto the street until their voices are heard by the companies they work for and by lawmakers, and until real change is implemented in the U.S. Anastasia Churkina, RT, New York.
Restaurant chains are looking for ways to avoid big payroll hikes by putting machines to work. Bob, this may sound like I'm picking a fight with you, but the CBO put out a report talking about the federal wage if it were to go up to 1010. By the second half of 2016, as many as 1 million jobs would be lost. And here you have a prime example of fast food chains that say, you know what, if you're going to raise the minimum wage, we'll look for another way to serve our customers.
First of all, I think it was 500,000, and they hedged themselves. But one figure that everybody agrees with, 1.9 million people will be pulled out of poverty. I don't care how you cut it. You make $7.25 or $8 an hour, and you work 40 hours a week, you're going to be staying in poverty. And the idea that somehow every place we've seen where they've raised the minimum wage, nobody's lost their jobs, and there's more money in people's pockets that way, and they spend more money doing that. Now, as far as the robots at Panera, I've never been to a Panera. I don't know what it is. It's bread or something, right?
Soup, and sandwiches.
Bread and soup and sandwiches. I'd no more take bread and soup from a robot and fly to the moon. I mean, first of all, think about. Well,
I'm with you on that. I like a little eye contact and a smile.
I mean, I've been out with a lot of people that reminded me of robots. But
Bob, you have the CBO, you have the Wall Street Journal, you have numerous studies that have come out and made predictions that if there is a minimum wage hike, it's going to hurt low-skilled workers, it's going to hurt young workers. A lot of these workers are between the ages of 16 and 19 years old. People are going to lose jobs when those companies realize they don't want to pay that much money, and they can replace it with a kiosk.
They always say that.
And it happens, and it's happening right now.
Every single time the minimum wage has been raised, this is what they say is going to happen, and it doesn't happen. And all that Democrats want to do is raise the minimum wage up to make it, keep pace with inflation.
It's happening right now.
If we had just kept pace with inflation, it would be $10 an hour.
They've actually created a robot that can flip hamburgers at the rate of 360 burgers in hours. What?
You don't think they would have done this anyway?
More incentive to do it now.
I don't see that they just invented this robot last week.
Here's the machine as we speak.
This is something that takes
this
some time
particular
to
machine
come
can flip pancakes.
Well, fine. Let them fix.
I need that machine.
You think for a minute?
That freaks me out a little bit, though. Look at that. Can we put that on the center of the screen?
Yeah,
it's very Terminator 2, is it not?
Like you go into a Panera or wherever you go, the IHOP, I love pancakes. The thing flips pancakes. I don't care what they're paying people. You can't have that thing. That's really frightening. Kirsten, you bring up an interesting point, though. If it were so cost effective, they'd already be doing this.
Well, I think they were already doing it. You just don't invent a robot overnight. I mean, this is something they've obviously been working on for a while and thinking about. And I think that, you know, I just wouldn't go there.
And by the way,
this goes back to the United Auto Workers, back when the car companies began to use robots to do certain part of line work. And he's exactly right. If these guys can make money on it, they'll put a robot in. Now, I don't know how you tell a robot you want medium rare, but maybe they understand something. I don't know.
You can't order medium rare at McDonald's.
First of all, if you order anything at McDonald's, you'd be in trouble.
You can do it. Just don't. I'm curious, too, when it comes down to the numbers that Sandra brought up, because those are such good points, and they're kind of scary if they're going to replace people. So maybe if they raise the wage, there has to be some paper that people sign that say you can't lay off X amount of workers.
But I think what everybody's we're kind of missing the point in the Panera story, Bob, is that this guy's preaching raise the minimum wage, but here he is trying to replace all of his minimum wage workers with computers and robots.
And Kirsten, exactly right. If he thinks he can do it and is going to pay big money for him, he's going to do it.
All right.
Interesting. You know, by the way, Panera has this whole go green thing, too. So that you're going to need people to do that.
So does I've never been in a Starbucks in my life, so I have to go to the bathroom. And I don't. They keep talking about going green. Every time I see somebody walk out of there, their hands are so hot from holding on to that damn thing.
You know, you're not supposed to go to the bathroom there.
Okay, it's a lunch hour thing.
Oh, really? Well, that's their tough luck.
It's just lunch. We're going to move on.